Good morning, ma'am, or maybe afternoon or evening, depende sa if what time ka nag-open aning a video. This will be my submission for the project, for the first project. So, my topic for this discussion is statistics, major fields of statistics, types of data, and measurement scales. Firstly, what is statistics? Statistics is a branch of mathematics that deals with the study of collecting, analyzing, interpreting, presenting, and organizing data in a particular manner. This is what it says here. And that statistics is defined as the process of collection of data, classifying data, representing the data for easier interpretation and further analysis of data. So to further understand what statistics is, let's put it in a daily basis, let's say explanation, like a reference. So we can put it as like, let's say you are on your way to school. So first thing that would come to your mind is how much would the charge be for the fee. So even with that, you're already thinking about statistics, right? You're thinking about how much you want to pay, how much you need to pay, how far the distance is from your house to the school. So from that, you're already thinking about it. You're thinking about the change, thinking how much passengers there are for the vehicle, and that's statistics. You're classifying the data. You're presenting the data for easier interpretation, and then you are further analyzing the data. Now, when there are statistics, there are also obviously major fields for the statistics, and those two are descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. First, we will tackle the descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics is the type of statistics that probably springs to most people's minds when they hear the word statistics, right? When we hear about statistics, the first thing that would come to our mind would be like, let's say, managing money, those kinds. So, in this branch of statistics, the goal is to describe the what statistics is. Numerical measures are used to talk about features of a set of data. There are a number of items that belong in this portion of statistics, such as. So before we go on with that, descriptive statistics is from the first. Let's get back to my example of uh, going on to school when you're thinking about paying for the fee. So when you're thinking about paying for the fee or how much you need to pay, this is the part that you are thinking, the descriptive statistics, right? You're thinking about how much you need to pay. You're thinking about what you need to pay, what you need to do for in order to get to one point to another. You're thinking about that. So the parts that are included in descriptive statistics are the average or measure of the center of a dataset, consisting of the mean, median, mode, or mid-range. Now, for our mean, we are trying to find the middle part of that, but it has a equation, which is from our mean, we get our summation of numbers, or summation of x, and then we divide that to the overall number of um, numbers. So the next would be the median, which is the half of your data, which next would be the mode, which is the highest peak of that. So let's say we have a data set right here. We have 1, 4, 6, 1, and 2. Now, if we compare our median, we're trying to look for the middle part of that. And our middle part of that would be 6, since there are 1, 2 here, and then 1, 2 here. So the middle of the 5 data sets would be 6. Now, if this is for the odd version, but what if it's even? So it's even, let's say there's another number here. Let's say that our median is 6 and 1. So we just add these two numbers and divide it by 2. Now, next will be the mode. So from our data set, what number is being repeated most of the times? And from our data set, that is 1. Hence why our mode is 1. Moving on. The spread of a data set, which can be measured with the range or standard deviation. Now, this so far has obviously been tackled. For our range, we have this for our equation, which range would equal to the highest value minus the lowest value from our data set. If we look at it here, our range calculation from the data sets are 77, 89, 92, 64, 78, 95, and 82. Now we find our highest value, which is 95, and we subtract that to our lower value, which is 64. Now that would be 95 minus 64, which is 31. Now from our data set, our range is 31. Now next would be the standard deviation. Now let's say we have a data set equal to 5, and that those are 51, 79, 46, 38, and 57. Now we add all that up and then divide it to the equal number, which is from here, right? We divide that to the number, which is 5, we get 54.2. Now for 54.2, we get our mean with this. We have our mean. Now, we put everything, our every value from our data set, and then we minus that through our mean, and then squared, and then divided by the total number. And then we will get our standard deviation. So from here, we get 51 minus 54.2, which is our mean, and then 38 minus 54.2, and so on, and then squared, and then divided by our overall data set. And then we get 15.5. Next. Overall description of data such as the 5-number summary. Now, the 5-number summary is a computing of 5 numbers. It's a computing of um, a data set that'll leave us with 5 numbers. So what does that mean? So let's say we have this data set, and then there are 10 datas from our data set. We have 4, 8, 11, 11, 12, 14, 16, 20, 21, and 25. Now, we'll firstly find our lower value, which is the 4. After getting our lower value, we find our quartile 1. Now, if you notice that from the very left, this is how the 5-number summary works. We find that this is even, right? There are 5 numbers here and then 5 numbers here. To find our Q1, we first need to find our median from the left side. So we have 4, 8, 11, 11, and 12. So our median would be 11. Hence why our Q1 is 11. After that, we need to find the median from all our data sets. So it's not just from the left, this time it's for everything. So as I mentioned earlier, for the median, if we have a data set that is even, we need to find the very middle and then add those two and then divide by 2. And for this example, we have 12 and 4. So we add those two, divide it by 2, hence we have 13. Now last is our Q3. Now from earlier, for Q1, we got our median from the very left. Now this time for Q3, we'll get it from the very right. So that would be 14, 16, 20, 21, and 25. So from those data sets, we can conclude that our mean is 20, right? From the very right data set. Hence our Q3. And then lastly, we just have to find our upper value, which is 25, the highest value. And that's all for 5-number summary. Now, for inferential statistics are produced through complex mathematical calculations that allow scientists to infer trends about a larger population based on a study of a sample taken from it. So, going back from my example from the fee, descriptive statistics is when you think about the overall, you think about how much you need to pay and all of that, and how far the destination is. You're trying to calculate it. Now, for inferential statistics, this is the part where you really think about the deeper parts, like how much change you're gonna get. If you pay this, how much will you get? Those type of stuff, where you kind of need to think harder for being able to get your answers. Now, there are two types of data Those are qualitative and qualitative data, which is categorical. But okay, so qualitative data is descriptive, referring to things that can be observed but not measured, such as colors or emotions. Uh, an example of this would be, of course, data that sorry, if like this has been swapped to this, so qualitative, and then this is its example. So an example of qualitative would be like things that you can like to say emotionally. So let's say someone's trauma, you can let's say research topic about like emotional things. Now for quantitative, this is a numerical data. So quantitative data is anything that can be counted or measured. Let's say a number, or let's say a sample of students from a school. So those are the our types of data. Now, there are four types of level measurements that makes up level of measurements. Now, the first of that would be the nominal scale. A nominal scale is the first level of measurement scale in which the numbers serve as tags or labels to classify or identify the objects. Now, skipping through that, there are values of the numbers that do not have any value. To give you a better example, those are eye color, right? They are numbers that do not have any value. Let's say blood type, right? They have no value, but they are datas. We have car brands, we have types of cuisines, we have gender, and lastly gender. Next would be the ordinal scale. Now for the ordinal scale, it is the second level of measurement that reports the ordering and ranking of data without establishing the degree of variation between them. So skipping through that, it can be grouped, named, and also ranked. Now to our examples, we have education, right? It can be grouped and it can be ranked. We have customer satisfaction rating. We have military ranks because of course we can rank. We have economic class, and lastly, we have pain scale in hospitals, right? We can rank them and we can also order them, right? Can be grouped, named, and also ranked. Now, from the third level, we have the interval scale. The interval scale is the third level of measurement. Skipping through that, uh, the variables are measured, meaning measured in an exact manner, not as in a relative way in which the presence of zero is arbitrary. So what does that mean? So from our example, we have temperature here. As you can see, they are uh, data sets that are obviously temperature. We have also IQ scores where that are data sets that can be collected from uh, as mentioned here, they are quantitative. As I barely mentioned earlier, they can be from emotions, but not uh, quantitative. Yeah. So next is SAT scores. Next is years in a calendar, and then the next is time of the day. Now, lastly, for our ratio scale, the ratio scale is the fourth level measurement and the last one, which is a quantitative, right? It is a type of variable measurement scale that allows research to compare the differences or intervals. The ratio scale has a unique feature. It processes the character of the origin of 0 points. Now, for our example, we have height, right? We have weight, we have the distance, number of students in a class, and speed. And for our reference, and that is all for my topics.